This will have minor spoilers for Dungeons and Dragons, John Wick, and a few other things, so be warned there. But I will say, even though I've labeled him, I think, legitimately a Nazi, I want to be careful because I think I was being too generous. Because having studied Nazism seriously, believe it or not, and you may not want to believe it, but a lot of Nazis were actually fairly tolerant of, quote, gays and lesbians. It's actually a big controversy within the literature, so I'll be careful there. But yeah, this is an active research project where we don't quite know the exact attitudes. It's a little bit all over the place. But I would now have to say empirically, I know it's shocking to say this, that the babyface is more homophobic than Adolf Hitler. No doubt in my mind anymore. And you think I'm joking. Oh no, I'm not. But let's start off on a good part, relatively speaking, with Dungeons and Dragons.
Why did I pick this movie? How was this movie marketed? Well, the writers, producers, whatever, came out and said, oh, we love emasculating our leading men. That is what they decided to lead with. And for somebody like me, who may have gone to see it for shits and giggles, so bad it's good, maybe, totally turned off by this. And even though Shad, love Shadiversary, even though Shad said it was good and it had good messages in it, you know, I heard Gary from Neurotic, not impressed at all. X-Ray Girl, middle of the road, meh movie. So it had a big spectrum of where it actually sat.
The box office for Dungeons and Dragons is very disappointing. But as always, there's a lot of lying and opportunism and cynicism with his presentation. Because with Mario, he used the Rotten Tomatoes score and the audience score, but not for Dungeons and Dragons, even though Dungeons and Dragons also has a very, very good audience score. Its box office has been fairly weak. Now, can't be because of the gay, so he says the reason is you emasculated the men. But I'm going to be generous. Yeah, Shad, he endorsed it. X-Ray got in the middle. You know, what do I think? I didn't think I like it. I'm not going to say it. What's shocking to me is he thinks the radical right wing of the YouTube space speaks for the entire Dungeons and Dragons fandom. I don't know. But I would say it is true. They did advertise that the men were going to be, quote, emasculated. And yeah, a lot of them are pretty silly in the movie. It's not as extreme as the, quote, right-wing videos made it seem. But yeah, they're more like silly characters than manly, tough men. But they are tough in certain moments, so they're not totally emasculated. But yeah, it's a little uneven. So maybe that played into why the box office was weaker than expected. I think that one is at least a fair interpretation. But now we're going to go into complete crazy land with Shazam and John Wick and other things. And you're like, wait, what are you talking about? What?
70-something-year-old lady. Okay, not you know, nothing against Helen Mirren. Love me some Helen Mirren. As a villain in a superhero movie, not so much. Not really so much. And what else did I hear from Shazam? Oh, it's going to emphasize on one of the Marvel family being gay. That's the way that you wanted to market this movie. Thanks, no thanks.
One, Helen Mirren is old. Okay, yes, she is old. Helen Mirren is old. And yes, they have the gay. You know, a lot of stuff is happening in Shazam, and there is a prominent romance, but that's heterosexual. I'm not joking. There's a major subplot between a boy and a girl. So I find this a little confusing. I'm not saying he's lying. Maybe I missed that, but and they definitely didn't push it because it's not in the trailers. I mean, I saw a lot of the trailers. If there's a gay trailer for Shazam, I'm actually sympathetic to him that we're making too many things gay. Like, they're zapping everything gay. So I understand the paranoia. And you can be a little paranoid to some extent, but he takes it as always to an extremity. But then we get to the theory behind the gay, and that is just crazy. Like, it makes no sense at all. Okay, so Mario made money because Mario is not the gay. Dungeons and Dragons also did not have the gay, though, so that's hard to explain, but it emasculated the men. And you had identity politics. Oh, by the way, he defines identity politics as defining characters.
Identity politics. To push your movie, it means you have absolutely no faith in the story and the actual characters, not how you want to define your characters. So no, that's a big pass to me. And finally...
So that's right. If you define a character, you're going to destroy a character. How would that work even in principle? Like, you know, in John Wick, he goes see someone in Japan who's a Japanese man. So the character is a Japanese man. That's part of what the character is. But they didn't push the identity politics. No, they pushed that. They literally push in the trailers and in the movie. He keeps going all over the world. Like he goes to Germany and he goes to Japan. By definition, if he sees a German man and he sees a Japanese man, he's seeing people with those particular identities. So I have no idea how linguistically or semantically he makes any sense. But
it's advertised just as a CGI mess. A CGI mess. Instead of Ant-Man being pushing his daughter, people want to go, well, if they want to see an Ant-Man movie, they want to see Ant-Man. They don't want to see him play second fiddle to Michelle Pfeiffer. They don't want to see him play second fiddle to some god-awful actress playing his daughter. The Wasp wasn't even in it for 90% of it. Because, of course, she has the wrong politics, IRL. And by the wrong politics, she just tried to talk a bit of common sense. Which is, of course, rare nowadays, not so common. So the ways in which movies have been marketed to the public versus...
So Shazam pushed the old woman and the gay. You put the old woman and the gay together, you destroyed the film. But let's think about the Ant-Man 3 factor, which I think is also really weird, because I guess on his theory, Wasp is not a woman. Because he's like, oh, and the Antman had too many women. He had the father-daughter thing. That's not what I want to pay to say. I won't say the Antman. But then he likes the Wasp. Had too many women, but not enough Wasp. So I'm totally confused. So basically, if you have women and the gay and the old woman, you don't make the money. Mario had none of these things, therefore it made money. Okay, that's kind of true. I mean, there is an old woman technically in Mario, but it wasn't prominent. Okay, I'll give him that much. Ant-Man lost money, too many women's in the gay. And Shazam lost the money, old women in the gay. Now, of course, normal people are going to look at this video and be like, you know, this guy is really obsessed with the gay. I mean, he's just obsessed with the gay all the time. And I hate to be one of those people, but if you're this obsessed with the gay, then probably you are the gay. So he's probably a raving homosexual himself and has weird late night things with the gay, but apparently in public life he's like, I won't want entertainment without the gay. I'm not a degenerate. Mario's winning because he didn't have the gay. Well, whether Mario's winning without the gay, that's an open question. Now, whether these films lost with the gay, I'm going to say it's a question mark. You know, that's the babyface. He's more extreme than even the Nazis, where even a hint of the gay means everything will go wrong, I guess.